doing? Joshua here from McCart, and we're back to a new Simpsons review. And this one was a pretty sad one. And again, the last episode we saw, or at least a couple of episodes from the first season, that we saw that Bart actually doing some terrible things. Like, again, from the last episode, what he did to his father, and cutting the head off of the statue in Springfield, and but in this episode, it actually makes you have to feel very bad for Bart of what he goes through. So he talks with his frog. Homer pretty much sees a mess and accidentally trips and sprains his back, or pretty much how do you want to call it? Make his back come out in place, and he can't get up. Santa's little helper comes, lays on top of him. Maggie comes, puts the pacifier in. She sleeps next to it. Their cat sleeps. Eventually, Marjorie and Lisa come and see what Bart did. Oh yeah, and Bart found a cherry bomb too. So, Marjorie tells Bart to clean up his mess. Which, yeah, he finds a cherry bomb, which it could only end so well. Principal Skinner comes and has his mother, which she calls him by an embarrassing name, and comes over to the kids, introduces his mother to the kids, and they go to the men's bathroom, and Bart pretty much puts the cherry bomb in the toilet, and actually gets a lighter, a match, and lights the cherry bomb. And, well, yeah, it can only end so well. You can probably see how this is gonna go. Skinner's mom goes to the bathroom. He drops it in the toilet. Water starts spraying out of the toilet. Even Skinner's mom getting flung into the ceiling by the water. Homer just keeps calling Marjorie, wanting to make a grilled cheese sandwich. And eventually, Bart comes home with Skinner, and they have a talk about, pretty much at first it seems like kicking Bart out of town, but changing it to moving him to France, and having a kid from France as their substitute son, pretty much, which Bart is actually all for, but he's gonna regret it. Homer, for some reason, is able to get back up and jump and high-five the principal's hand. So, Bart says his byes to the family. He gets on the plane, and they see the substitute son, as they're going to be calling him, for Bart's family's going to be getting. So we see France. Bart gets over to this guy, which he gets driven, eventually ending up to this very bad place that it ends up. Bart's family ends up seeing their substitute son that they're going to be having for the next 6 months, 3 months. And Bart sees his guardians for the next couple of months, which, yeah, he's going to regret it. And, yeah, it seems to be going well so far. At least on Bart's family side. As for Bart, things ain't going so well at first. The new kid starts to talk about his family and stuff while Bart is actually being put to work, which is not looking as a good sign, and he's very exhausted. Lisa and the kid starts to get into a fight until they eventually make up and be friends, which he actually tells Marjorie to sit back and let him do the work, which Homer then realizes that things of the family is looking much better without Bart. Bart, on the other hand, is being treated like a slave, which, yeah, he is being told to sit on the floor and sleep on the floor. Well, the substitute son, that I'm just gonna call the substitute son, pretty much just sleeps in Bart's bed and is able to call Homer his dad for while he is in America. And he wants to go to the power plant, which he gets an evil laugh. Yeah, this can only end so well. Well, not Homer, but the son, their so-called son, for a couple of months, does the evil laugh. So, Bart is once again being treated like a slave. Yeah, like he does not get any breaks. He is being treated like a slave while he's in France. And, yeah, he shows him the tour of the place. And he wants to see some of the most dangerous stuff, of course. So, Bart tries to eat some of the berries, but he gets slapped and tells them that they feed him. Which, Bart is clearly starving, and he is being treated very badly. And yeah, like I said, you can see it just going so badly for him. And he eventually starts taking pictures of Homer. And yeah, Bart is forced to be squeezing some juice out. Once again, he is being worked with no breaks. And Marjorie is talking to Homer how things do seem a lot calmer without Bart. But she also tells Homer if she does really, they really do love Bart. As they should. Well, the kid is starting to do some kind of evil plan. Yep, doing an evil plan. Of course. And, yeah. Yeah, it's going very well. He's gonna get his consequences. Bart gets a letter from his family, which seems to be good, and we see Bart crying, which I really do feel bad for. After the stuff from the first season, the things that I've seen so far that Bart done, as of only the first season, I do feel bad for Bart because he's being treated like a slave. He's he's not being treated right. He's being worked. He's being not fed as he should. Eventually getting told off by his local guardians. And basically having a plan to basically sell him off and stuff. And making him drink some of the drink. And antifreeze. He seems well enough. Now go buy a case of antifreeze. And yeah, they send him off, which Bart comes over to a French police officer, which of course Bart can't speak French, so the cop doesn't understand him, but eventually he does speak French. Yep, he's speaking French now. So he goes back to the police officer, and he tells him everything that these two guys are doing. You gotta help me. Those two guys worked me day and night. They don't feed me. They make me sleep on the floor. They put antifreeze in the wind, or in the wine. And they gave my red hat to the donkey. antifreeze in the wine, that is a very serious crime. Come along, boy. There is nothing for you to fear now. And this is really good. Bart pretty much gets saved by a police officer, which is really good, and he speaks French now. He's able to speak French and get help. Homer gets some blueprints for their substitute son, which the police, the CWAT, the SWAT team, comes and is looking for their substitute son, because he's apparently a very dangerous criminal, which they do manage to caught him. And the police end up arresting the guys that are basically treated Bart like a slave, which they do get their consequences. Bart ends up being a hero, gets a badge, and everything's so well for Bart. So, the kid ends up getting arrested as well. And they get traded back off. Yep, they get traded back off. And they say their farewells. Bart comes back from France very well and happy. And he actually does not talk about the bad stuff that has happened to him, of course. He does not tell him about being treated like a slave and nearly been starved to death and stuff. Which they celebrate. And Lisa even hates to say, but she's glad that he's back. Homer's trying to open that root beer, which he eventually does. He eventually does, and the episode ends. Again, a real great episode that makes me feel bad for Bart. The things that I've seen Bart do, like committing several crimes, and again, from the last episode, getting his dad in trouble for something that Bart did and really didn't get much of a consequence. And this episode, you have to feel bad for Bart for being treated like a slave. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments section down below. Catch you on the next one.